Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of the No Filter Podcast. It's a little sparse today. Um, and we got some things to talk about here. It's a lot personal shit. I think you guys would like the story. Okay, let me see here. Okay. I'm just trying to set everything up. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Appreciate it, Jemiah. I see what you did. Still trying to wait for people.
Nigga, you said like 3 o'clock, right? And then you went like,
Because I was no, I would have been. It would have been sooner, but like people were saying that they were coming and didn't. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
That was the problem. I would have started it, but whatever. It's cool. Let me see here. Trying to get people in the chat too, y'all. If you in the chat, yo, give me a holler. Let me hear. Let me see. Hashtag Halo. Um. All right. So everything is in its place. Let me get the. Let me get the podcast up and running. Can I hear myself? I wonder if I can hear myself. All right. Yep, I can. Excellent. Excellent, bitches. Anyway, we have some interesting news before we actually start the podcast here. Just to let you know, the subjects for today is just the media being absolutely, positively addicted to outrage. They go out and they seek outrage, which to me is insane to me. It's just completely insane. Also, how do you feel about leaks? We're gonna talk about that too. There's some Halo leaks, which I don't give a fuck about. I'll leak the shit out of that. It wasn't going to be good anyway. But just like The Last of Us, the Horizon Forbidden West leak that was going to be delayed. Just leaks in general. How you feel? And then on our off-topic illicit therapy session, we're going to talk about one night stands. So to begin, we have Jemiah in the house here. What's going on with you, bro? You just woke up.
You know me, yeah. Just woke up, lazy Sunday.
Lazy ass Sunday. So for me personally, what about what's going on with you just in general? What's going on with you and your day to day for this week? What's going on? Not just games in general.
Just working, fucking, trying to put together some apps. Other than that, just playing these games.
Playing these games, I see.
Been playing The Ascent. Pretty
I
good game, pretty good.
I really heard that people wasn't really feeling that though. I heard that people
I
weren't
thought it
really
was pretty
feeling
good.
it.
Everybody I played with having fun with it.
Well, you had fun with Outrider, so
Did I?
yeah, yeah.
I thought I was okay. I wouldn't say I had fun with it.
You said you loved it. Also, let me see here. When Thrash joins, I'll tag him in there. I didn't want to tag him if he wasn't going to be in there. So about me, I'm gonna. Do you mind if I rant for a little bit, Jemiah?
By all means.
Now, you are a person that consistently, ooh, Thrash. What's going on? Now I can hashtag your ass. I didn't block your voice, so I'm not sure if you're muted or not.
I think he's muted.
Okay. Let me go here. He said, "Run it."
What's up? Over
Yo,
here?
what's going on, man?
What up, my boy?
How you
Nigga
feeling?
back from the dead and shit.
I'm still, I still see dead people, nigga. Yeah.
So you gotta
Yeah.
inhale that shit, right, all the time for your lungs and shit.
You said what?
You still gotta inhale that little breather thing, right?
Nah, that was just at the. I have a portable one, like kind of like an inhaler. You know what I'm saying? That was just at the ER. My shit was so bad. I had to be on that motherfucker for like 45 minutes.
Jeez. Did they give you the ventilator?
Nah,
You didn't need
I
that
don't need
shit,
no
huh?
ventilator. Yeah, that's a whole different fuck up right there. Nigga, my shit is kind of fucked up though.
What you mean?
Oh, I almost died twice. Bullshitting with this shit.
Nigga said his name is Sekiro now, nigga.
My mama, nigga. Like I got one more of those resurrection little pink balls, nigga.
Jesus. What do you mean you almost died?
'Cause, like I don't have asthma or no shit. This shit was giving me asthma attacks.
Oh, you couldn't breathe.
Yeah, I couldn't breathe straight up, like seeing dark, nigga, like about to pass out. Nigga, first time I got over it was pure miracle shit. Like I don't know what the fuck. Something took over my mind, but that shit saved my life. And the second one, my wife saved my life. If she wasn't around, I'd be dead right now. Fucking, or she didn't hear me. If she didn't hear me, nigga, I'd be dead right now for sure.
That's
'Cause
crazy, nigga.
that was worse than the first one. And nigga, I was almost out. Nigga, that shit is nuts. But it's all based on energy consumption. A nigga, like when you got this shit, at least when I got, like if you push too much energy, for example, uh, uh, go from my bedroom. I have a bathroom in my bedroom, right, about 10 feet away. If I walk from there to the bathroom, I have to sit in the fucking toilet and catch my breath like I ran 5 miles. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that. It feels like somebody's sitting on your chest. You have to
Yeah.
really
Well, shit, it's not
you
even. No, no, it's not even that. Like it's more of.
like
It's
energy.
like
Like you feel like it's
yeah,
like
my energy is just gone. Like I feel like I'm carrying the whole. I don't feel any pain. I don't feel any pressure, but my heart start beating uncontrollably.
yeah.
Like I'm running. You
It
know what I'm
starts
saying?
get
Like kind of
it
like you
starts
sprinting.
beating.
You know?
It starts beating. And I had pneumonia too. This was in
hmm
2019 when I had pneumonia, and I almost died from
hmm
that shit too. I started to feel like I didn't get it bad. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Thrash, you smoke, right?
Yeah. From time to time, yeah. I ain't no chain smoker at all. You know what I'm saying? But I do smoke from time to time,
No,
like blacks every now and again.
and that shit is strong as a motherfucker, man.
Mhm.
That shit ain't no regular cigarette. That's they got shit in
No,
there.
I know.
That's why people be
But
looking at me. They're like, "Oh, why you always, keep yourself?" Listen, I've done a lot of study for this. Like, I know people and all this other stuff. You know, um, and so that's the problem with me. Like, I know about this, but when I was about to die back in 2019,
hmm
I was so like my fever was outrageously high. And I was trying to join a podcast with you guys too, and I was kind of telling y'all guys I was sick,
hmm
but I was trying to make the like be normal. You know what I'm saying? So I won't think about how badly I was. I could not eat for the life of me. I couldn't eat.
Yeah, same.
You had no
Same as
interest in eating at all, at all.
interested. I was interested in doing shit. No interest in doing shit. In my favorite foods.
Yeah,
No interest in
chicken nuggets for
anything.
me. Chicken nuggets for me.
Right.
Didn't want it. Now for me personally, I love what do you call it? I like chicken nuggets and stuff like that. Let me take a look here.
Mm.
Just
I mean, the same shit. Like if you don't want to do shit, I had fever. I was at 104 for like 4 days straight, and I
Nigga,
thought I was
that's
gonna die because of that.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, your
I was like,
brain fried,
yeah.
nigga.
Is my brain fucking?
yo, you
Am I
feel like
thinking
don't you
correctly?
feel
Like,
like don't you feel like you in like you're like losing it? Like you feel like you're
Niggas
not there.
delirious and shit, yeah.
oh, yeah, for sure
Like
you
you
do
feel like you're
because it's
slow.
like,
You can when people say that you're about to die, you feel like you're about to. You know that feeling. Like I was like, I guess I'm gonna die. I wasn't
yeah,
coughing
nigga.
or
I
anything like
mean,
that. I was just like, I guess
yeah,
I'll
like
just accept it.
niggas is macho as fuck. You know what I'm saying? You could be a macho as a motherfucker. I mean, you could be the rock, whatever the fuck you feel like you the badass of this planet. Nigga, you get this shit and you're gonna be like, okay,
See,
yeah, I'm gonna,
the problem
okay.
is with COVID is that well, if you allow it to, and here's what allows it to get to pneumonia, where it gets into your lungs, is the lack of rest. And with that,
Mm-hmm.
right, it's because you don't know what it is, so you think that you can walk that shit off. When truthfully, I would
Exactly.
have been better a long time ago if I would have sat my ass down and just called out for a couple of days. If I known what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, for me personally, I wasn't coughing at the time. I didn't have a sore throat. I didn't have anything. I was sore as hell and just had extremely high fever to the point of delirium. And I couldn't even take a shower. It was so bad that I was still trying to work. And I would go into the shower with lukewarm water, a little bit colder than room temperature, man. And it was
Mm-hmm.
overheating me to the point where I was gonna bash my head in the fucking shower. I had to run to my bedroom, lay wet as hell and butt ass naked until I can regain my composure. I would have to take 3 passes to get myself clean to get ready for work. Now my
Yeah,
body
so you
fat
was doing
is
something.
right. My body fat is 7%. I lost
Mm-hmm.
10 pounds. I didn't have any extra weight.
Yeah, so you just losing money.
We just
I mean,
lose.
losing muscle. I
You
mean,
just losing muscle, man.
yeah.
And it was like, see, what you can't do with COVID, because COVID it's pneumonia, and pneumonia has never been a joke, never, ever, ever,
Mm-hmm.
ever been a joke. But
No, I know that.
you can't get an antibiotic because it's a virus.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing you can do
Yeah.
with COVID is two things. You can't fuck with your lungs in terms of smoking and shit like that. Nor can you be
Oh, for sure. Fucking anybody with COVID and call themselves still smoking ain't got COVID, nigga. I'm sorry.
Nigga,
Your body will be like, look,
what is
I don't know if I had COVID, but earlier, like January, like when that shit last year, son, I tried to smoke a blunt, nigga. That shit felt like it was lightning going down my fucking whole body. Like I could feel like
yeah,
every brachial tube in my fucking lungs, nigga. I couldn't smoke weed for like a week, nigga. I was like, what the
yeah.
fuck is
Your
this shit?
body,
bro?
your
Your
body's
body was
always gonna be smarter than what you believe you are. Your
yeah.
body's
It
always
will
gonna be the
check you.
number
It will
one thing
check
to
you.
tell you.
It will check you.
It
The
will
only
let
thing
your ass, and if you don't listen, then that's when you die.
that's when you
You know what
die,
I'm saying?
and
Like,
that's what it was
that's
for
what a lot of
me.
niggas need to realize that shit, man. Like, your fucking body. That's one thing my mom told me, man. She ain't taught me nothing. She taught me this. She said, you can feel how you want to feel, believe what you want to believe, but when your body tells you something, you shut the fuck up and listen. Period. There is no
Facts.
ifs, ands, or maybes about it. Your body understands more about your body than any human on earth. You know what I'm saying? We don't know everything about how the body works,
Or brain
but
work
your
for the
body
matter.
do. You know what I'm
And it
saying?
knows exactly what it needs to
So,
do. And like I said, you want to know why, Thrash, you didn't want to eat? You want to know why you didn't
mhm.
want to eat? Because
Still don't need-
your brain sent a signal, right,
mhm,
to your body to stop yourself from eating, because eating consumes energy.
mhm.
It needs all the energy that it can get, and the first thing that it will do is go straight to stop killing your appetite. You don't know how much energy it consumes. That's why people get diabetes and they fall asleep because of the food. It's a lot of energy.
Mhm.
You need all the energy to fight that shit off. Now I still stick by what I say about COVID. Being overweight is a comorbidity. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
This
And that's
nigga Thrash, this nigga Thrash lost like 30 pounds and shit in this
what do you
bitch.
say?
No,
43,
42.
42.
I'm about to check. Yeah, 43. It was like 43, 42.8.
Yo,
So I was saying 42, 43.
That's
But
crazy.
keep it just like that. Cause here's the thing. I did intermittent fasting. Like, don't let that shit scare you. But intermittent fasting, if your body is in an emergency state, and that's when I do intermittent fasting, it realizes, oh, I'm not going to get the food that I wanted in the first place, right? That's the
yes,
only way
it'll
that
start eating.
that's the only way you can
Mhm.
get into your fat stores. It's just like with a bank. If God forbid, if somebody lost their job, right, and they needed to still function, they're going to need their savings. That's the only time you're going to dip into your savings. And for your body, that's the only time that you're going to dip into your fat cells, is if it needs it. So when you do
Mhm.
intermittent fasting, just to do intermittent fasting, you will lose about 10 pounds a week if you're overweight. And then it slows down, of course.
Mhm.
So that ain't anything crazy. It's just that you're not eating. It was a everlasting, what do you call it? Intermittent fasting, essentially. It was just fasting. So you better keep it
Bro,
as is. It is important. Being overweight is not cute. It's not. If you show both pictures, obviously I'm a straight shooter, overweight. All those girls thinking that, oh,
mm,
I want a thick ass and shit like that, overweight. It's not good. You have to take care of your body, especially if you're our age. We ain't no spring
yeah.
chickens. Period.
I mean, you seen those pictures I sent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw that shit.
When with me, you see all my fucking gummy bear fat glory and shit. And then the other one, you can't really tell how much weight I lost.
No, I can see
But
it.
those clothes that I had on would fit tight. You know what I'm saying? Like not super tight, but you will see, where the shape of my body is in those motherfucking clothes. It's like I can't fit shit no more. You know what I'm saying? My fucking underwear just falling off my ass and shit. Like, God damn.
Let that shit tell you. There's two issues, and I'm being real. The smoking and black and miles are crazy. You already know what it is. And then
Yeah, yeah, I
just
know what that is. I've been stopped that. I stopped before I got sick.
yeah, and then well, you still need your body to heal. You know what I'm saying? There's always gonna be a thing. So speaking of smoking, right?
Yeah.
I got a story to tell y'all. Now I'm pretty straight edge, right? But sometimes every now and again I would do some wild shit. Now one of the things that I've done, and I'm gonna call myself out. I don't give a fuck what's going on, Azizel. I'm gonna call myself out.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a nude beach several times this
Mm-hmm.
year. And the reason why I went to a nude
Mm-hmm.
beach is not to see some titty physics.
Sure.
It was
This
to
nigga.
confront personal blocks in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you go, this is a different type of drug without the drugs, when you go to a nude beach. You have to be
Right.
comfortable with yourself in all facets of your life. Your
Yeah,
body,
you do.
your mental, you know what I'm saying? It gets checked, and then when you leave this beach, because everybody is there mostly for the same reason. When you leave this beach, you're changed. You're altered because your brain had to go through all this metamorphosis to make you stay there at that state of being
Mm-hmm.
butt ass naked. But that's another story for a different day. My friend
I
told
get
me,
you.
he said he wanted to have me smoke some weed.
Yeah, that's what I said. Nope.
Now, I am not
Mm-hmm.
a newbie to smoking weed at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Right.
a newbie. I should say this. Let me throw it back. I tried it a couple of times. The problem was I didn't know how to fucking drag. What do you call it? How you call it again? Jeremiah? Pull.
What do you mean?
I didn't know how to pull properly.
So basically, hit the blunt properly.
Right. And
Yeah.
there's definitely a properly. So I tried it a couple times, and he made sure he refrigerated. He made sure it was the highest quality grade shit. So you don't fuck with that weak shit. You don't fuck with that street shit, right?
Nigga had that Bill Cosby.
That nigga had the shit was man. All right. So I spoke. I pulled like he told me, and I kept asking him, so I won't like waste everybody's time. So I was like, "How you doing?" I step by step until I got it. So I pulled the first time. I was halfway there in terms of getting a successful pull. Then I did it again. and I felt my sanity snap like that. Instantly, something was wrong. It didn't take time for my body to gyrate and figure it out, man. It was like I took 2 double shots, and like when you're feeling it, it was a little bit sometime after is what it felt like. When I blew out that smoke, I was instantly fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Now I ran away.
I told her that he wasn't smoking weed.
I ran away. None of your negativity, yo. We ain't dealing with your negativity, yo. I don't know.
His boy tried to Cosby that nigga, bro.
So the thing is, right? As I was coughing, I had to walk away, so I was coughing, and then all of a sudden, my fucking world started getting fucked up. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Now I wasn't hallucinating. The hallucination portion, that's not what was happening. It wasn't like I was hallucinating at all. I personally was I was feeling everything, and I was dizzy as hell, and I was nauseous. And I'm like, yo, I can't. And then my short-term memory started to disappear, man. I couldn't remember things for more than 10 seconds. And I had to walk a quarter mile to get back to the beach. And I'm like, yo, I got to get back to the beach because it's a fucking new beach. And I didn't, because it's all walks of life there. I didn't want to get raped. I didn't. Shit, I couldn't feel nothing. My body was heavy as a motherfucker, yo. And anybody could have did any fucking thing to me. Just doesn't matter. And I couldn't even stop myself. Couldn't even defend myself. All this big ass muscles couldn't do shit. So I get to the beach. I'm already hot as hell. I got cotton mouth. I guess that's what it feels like. That's the description I want to say. Cotton mouth like a motherfucker, man. I'm fucking butt ass nigga laying on there. I got burnt the fuck up. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? How do you turn this shit off? Nigga, how long this shit gonna work? I'm dying in this country ass fucked up town, man. Fix my shit, man. Why you do this? This motherfucker was talking mystical shit. How do you feel right now? I'm like, bro, I don't got time for your mysticism, man. How long does this shit last? It's different for everybody, man. And I swore, I think he was like, that's that wet. It could have been a hallucination. I don't fucking know. Whatever it was, I was fucked up for about 6 hours. After 6 hours, I was able to regain my composure. I walked towards the beach and got my feet wet.
He said 6 hours, nigga.
6 hours.
That's not weed, nigga.
6 hours. None of your negativity. None of your negativity.
Yo, Thrash, show this nigga.
You always go instantly into something else. None of your negativity. I don't want to hear it.
Minimum, nigga.
What you say?
I smoke like an ounce a week minimum.
That's because you're used to it. But from the people,
I know how that should affect you.
But for the people that are new, you don't want to take the best shit ever, and then be in a fucking sun and be dehydrated and didn't even eat for hours. That's something you don't want to do. There was a lot of things against me.
Naked, nigga.
What you say?
All while ass naked.
All while ass naked. There was girls that was seeing me. Like, when you lay on your back, and you have your hands up like this, and you have one leg up. Girls would walk by, you told them something. Couldn't even say nothing. The nigga was mumbling shit, yo. I feel like that Matrix. You remember they dropped that fucking shit in his belly, and his mouth closed the fuck up. That's what I felt like. Couldn't say shit.
Yo.
Bro, this shit was some shit.
I wouldn't been smoking a damn thing, nigga. I'm already naked and vulnerable.
Bro.
And then his boy was like, yo, hit this shit. It's like, yo.
No, the funny thing, he did it.
Right now.
The funny thing, he did it, and it didn't, because he was used to it. It didn't affect him. This nigga went out. He made sure I was okay. He said, Josh, don't go nowhere. Just stay the fuck right there. He went over there, played some football, whatever the fuck it was, butt ass naked. But he went over there, played. Nothing was affecting him. He had short-term memory. Like, he had to think about what he had to say. You could tell that much. But that was pretty much it. And he was a little more goofy. So I thought that's the effect. Now, my lungs, I've never smoked. My lungs was pure. You know what I'm saying? And that shit got to me. Either way, that was my experience.
I wouldn't see you hit some concentrate, nigga. You probably
absolutely not.
You
So
probably lose your fucking mind, nigga.
absolutely not. So we're going to jump right into the topics. I don't want to hold Thrash up and shit like that. I figured he'll like this story. He get all a wild motherfucker. But the first topic's here, right? Let me get let me get my shit situated here. Let me see here. So we've had an outbreak of outrage for the last 3 years, and it's just gotten worse. Like people are triggered by any fucking thing. Apparently, it doesn't matter what the fuck it is. They're just completely triggered. And the first thing I want to talk about is this: people being triggered by the SSD. The SSD is triggering people so badly about how difficult it is to figure out which one that you need and to place it into the PS5 and the heat sink and et cetera, et cetera. Let's talk to Thrash. How do you feel about the outrage for SSDs now that we have a good idea what's going on with it?
Um, I think everybody is stupid. In order to understand how the difference between PlayStation SSDs, Xbox SSDs. I mean, I'm seeing people push shit like it's easier to put an SSD in the Xbox now. Not first it was that PlayStation doesn't have SSDs. Now it's easier for Xbox, and they're just making a scene out of whatever they can.
Just moving the goalposts.
Now I'm not
And
sure if
talking
you. I'm
about the
not.
power. You said
Yeah,
what?
I was gonna say I'm not sure if you've seen this on Twitter, but you got people and somebody mentioned it. I'm not sure if it was you. I think it was Magnificent Black. Nigga, and shout out to Magnificent Black here. I know he couldn't join because he's working and shit like that, but shout out to him. He goes and says these people that advocate PC gaming, that have taken apart motherboards and had to decipher
Mm-hmm.
with this and this. Why are you in the conversation talking about you need a fucking PhD and all this other shit for a screwdriver, essentially? What is your
Yeah,
game here?
they have no game, bro. Like they have nothing to talk about. PC is nothing without console gaming because people talk about console gaming. They don't really talk about PC gaming because it doesn't really have much to offer as far as games. They're just waiting for PlayStation and Xbox games to come, and it's more. It's just not as they have games. It's just not as exciting as console gaming. It just is what it is. As far as the consensus goes, right? I mean, PC gaming is a different type of gaming than console to begin with. Like you said, how Magnificent just said. These are people who study and break down fucking PCs, put new parts in, see how they work. That's how they game to make the game look better. No matter the game, if it looks bad and they can do a little bit of something to make it look or run better and get them satisfied, then that'll be good for them.
What about
But
yeah? What about you, Jemiah, being a PC nigga? What's up with the outrage? Now you've been building PCs and shit like that. What do you think their intentions are? What do you think their motives are for trying to make like a big like stink about
Man, I saw
SSD?
that was Skill Up. I don't know who the fuck Skill Up is.
I
And
don't
I'll
even
say
know
this
what
right
skill up.
here. That's why I always consider myself like a centaur or like a hybrid nigga because actual PC niggas do not be on YouTube and fucking Twitter talking to us. They don't. Like real PC niggas, like they don't talk to console niggas. So anybody who I see engaging with console niggas, to me, either they're niggas who got sick of consoles and bought a PC so they could talk more shit, or they just niggas who trying to push an agenda. Because if you actually like PC, you play PC and all that shit, like there's like Thrash said, it's different types of games. You know what I mean? Like a Diablo 4, right? Well, that shit pop. That shit about to get crazy, attention from PC dudes and shit. And most
exactly.
console niggas probably won't even care about it. When Baldur's Gate 3 finally releases, it'll get more PC clout and shit like that. But those games seldomly hit the zeitgeist like that. You know what I mean? Like a game like Horizon or God of War 2 is gonna have like a public appeal to it. Like general
Right.
niggas are gonna know about that shit. But like when Diablo 4 drop out, the soccer moms ain't gonna know about that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But as far as the nigga's skill up goes, I don't know who this nigga is, and I'm sick of these niggas who claim to be PC niggas stay saying some dumb shit on fucking Twitter, bro. It's like you're not a PC nigga, bro, talking like this. Yeah, that's my opinion on that shit. Though.
I
This
mean,
console niggas.
what's the main outrage anyway? I mean, I
They
can barely pay attention to
okay.
most of the shit.
So all right. The outrage is that it's extremely difficult to placing an SSD, and then now you got to think about heat sinks, and now you got to think about if it's compatible, and then now you got to think about if the PS5 can even cool it, and then it's so much easier on the Series X. That's the outrage, Thrash.
Also,
Yes,
when
sir.
the initial outrage was that it was way expensive when that Seagate Fire Cuda came out. Niggas was like, "Oh my god, look at these prices and shit." They was going crazy over that. And then when the more companies came out with cheaper SSDs, that kind of went away. And then they started going towards the whole you need a PhD to install this type shit. Like,
What were you saying,
That's
Thrash?
so stupid. Nah, I was saying, wasn't that first one that came out with it the same price as the Xbox version
It's
for
close
the
to
same
it. I
amount of
think
money?
it's like $10 or $20. Whatever it is close to it. That's the thing. It's very
Yeah.
close.
What? But the difference is that it's a more powerful SSD, right?
Right.
So it's like are we? I mean, what's why is Microsoft's SSD costing same price, even though it's a fucking lower end SSD than a hyper advanced SSD that the PlayStation one is? I
Oh,
mean, nobody looked at it that way,
no, but nobody
or
looked at it like this too. So here's another thing too. People looked at the SSD for that's built into the PlayStation 5. They kept saying that, well, oh, that's the biggest problem because Microsoft they have more memory instead of 600, they have 800, which is just one game difference, really, maybe one or two games. Yo, Devil Shooter, yeah, yo, what's going on? If you want to jump in, yo, jump in. I want to hear your input. Um, so you have, yeah, he's in the building. So you have people were talking about that, but they don't ever bring up that compression algorithm that they have for their games. The games are almost half the space as the console versions. You know what I'm saying? But they don't bring that up. That's never brought
mm,
up. You know,
mm,
so it doesn't really matter in this particular case. This is why I say it's an outrage. It's just you just want to be outraged to be outraged. Sony
right,
has future proofed, just like they did with the PS3 and the PS2 and the PS1, this
mm,
whole shit. They tried the proprietary system with the Vita. Well, to stop piracy, of course, but they tried it. The prices don't go down. So what Microsoft has, not only is it stuck in time for that speed, but because this is supposed to be 5 years, you know what I'm saying? We got to make sure that
mm,
it's fast, for the future. So not only is there's like half the speed. That's number one. Number two, it is an acute packaging. You know what I mean?
mm,
All right, Double Shooter is in acute packaging, which it's R&D to make it cute. It's R&D to make it so that it's not overheating. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
But the problem is because it's specialized, the prices won't go down. Anybody you could if say that you get an SSD for the what is it M.4, is that what you that's the thing? Say that you get an
M.2.
M.2, say that you get an SSD, you could literally take that SSD and put it in your computer. You can't do that with the
mm,
you can't you there's no multi-purpose. It's only for that console. You know what I'm saying? So even if things go awry, you can still use it for your computer. And one of the best things to
mm,
have when you're future proofed and when everybody can use it beyond the console is that the price will drop like a rock. It did it for SD cards and all sorts of shit. So that was one of the outrages here. We're moving on to the subcategory of my outrage banter here. I keep losing this shit, man. Because I want to make sure that I don't overwork your shit. $70 games. Now, this is directly in correlation to Returnal. Again, shout out to Magnificent Black because he has his own channel, and he brought this to my attention and anybody else that watches him. Um, People thought that Returnal was going to fail because it was a $70 game. So that was a big outrage. We had this point where it was like, what is the value of a game exactly? You know what I mean? So that was the big thing. And I'm like, why is this even a fucking question? You know what I mean? Why are you outraged about $70 games? That's another thing that the media perpetuated. They're like, oh, it's a $70 game. Oh, well, we don't want this to be an industry standard. It's going to be an industry standard. It's not Sony doing it. That's the industry standard.
So ain't not the one who did it first.
They just happened to be the one that did it first, because they was the first ones that's
No, 2K
we
did it first.
who?
Remember? 2K.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
NBA 2K came out like with the crazy edition Kobe shit, whatever too.
But I guess they were like,
Yeah.
yo, Sony could sling their dick to make sure that it's not going to charge them. You know what I'm saying? Or they're going to keep the
Mm-hmm.
industry standard. But these games are. This is why they're making PC releases. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is why they're doing this, because the games are double in price when you create those
Mm-hmm.
things. You want the quality, but you nigga, you're gonna have to pay for it. Like in my line of work, I do sales or I repackage the customer, and it's like when you don't want to pay for something, you got to take it away. You can't just have it for a lower price.
Yeah.
We give you a special at that time frame, and you gotta fucking pay for it. I don't understand. If you want it, you pay for it. Don't get mad
Right.
because it's on this platform that you got to pay for it. It costs that much money to them. So my question to you is, it found out we let me put this out here. Returnal sold 500,000 within the months that it was out, a month or 2 months that it was out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sony did not make that many physical copies, and the MPD does not track digital shit.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about it is, they did it for Ratchet and Clank, and the reason why is because Ratchet and Clank is marketable to a wide range of people. It's rated E. It's why the game kind of caters to kids more so when it used to be like a Futurama adult. You know what I'm saying? So they had that going on, but it's marketable. You got this cute Lombax or animal or whatever the case is, and you can make all these purple crazy colors. With Returnal, you got a fucking middle-aged white woman. How you gonna market that? How you gonna make that look sexy?
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't make the physical copies, that many of them, but they had to still put it out there just in case for people that can't buy it. And for it to do 500,000, to be a new IP, everybody knew that this game was going to be the Dark Souls or the Souls type games for shooters, and it still did that much. And we don't know the digital count either. If it sold 3 million, this shit is extremely successful. You know what I'm saying? And I think it deserved the $70. I had more playtime in that game than a lot of other fucking games. Like Ratchet and Clank, to me personally, look, I ain't no pony. It's an okay game. I didn't enjoy it as much as Returnal. Like, not even close. I mean, if you did, good on you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like it's prettier than Ratchet and Clank. I enjoyed it. It was visceral. It was fun. You know what I'm saying? And people need to understand, like, this in general. Let me ask you, Thrash, what's the $70 outrage? What's up with that? Like, why do you think people are pissed off at Sony for this shit? You hear me? Hello? Oh, he's muted. He probably coughing. Let me see here.
Hold on. Give me like 2 minutes.
All right, cool.
Or not
cool.
even that. Give me like 30 seconds. Hold on.
All right, let me ask Jemiah then. $70 outrage. What do you think is going on with that?
Just think that it was a good narrative for Xbox dudes to push because of Game Pass. You know what I mean? They could be like, Game Pass is good because we aren't gonna spend $70 per game. All our shit is gonna be free. You know what I mean?
There was a lot of people that was upset about what was his name? Jack Tritton? No, was it not Jack Tritton? Sean Layton. And what he said about Game Pass, that people were trying to push his shit and test it out. And they're so mad that he's in the industry and he's telling people that Game Pass model doesn't work if you want those to caliber games, period. I didn't read too much into it, but go on, Thrash. What were you saying again?
My bad. What was the question? Give me the question again. My wife had came. She was telling me about she was about to go to the doctor.
All right, cool.
What happened? What was it on? It was on Returnal, right?
It was $70 games and the outrage of $70 games. Like, why do you think what was driven? Why do you think that was driven?
Because Sony doing it. The only reason it wasn't too driven when Call of Duty and NBA 2K was $70. In fact, those are the two best-selling games on the Xbox, and PlayStation and whatever. So $70, $70 don't really mean shit to any of these gamers. they just when they see Sony doing $70 games for their games, then they want to get pissed off. And the way I look at it is, it's inflation, and we've been paying $60 since the PS3 era. That's 15 years. And if you go back 15 years and try to buy anything, you'll find that you're paying damn near less than double. I mean, maybe right now today we're paying double for what we paid 15 years ago. And I believe if you want to complain about crunch, if you want to complain about, you want to complain about these developers, these developers making money, these games making money is about these developers making sequels like the Days Gone conversation where the guy was like, you wanted a fucking Days Gone 2, you should fucking bought Days Gone 1 before a sale. That's very true and very important. All he did was tell the fucking truth. May not have sounded too sexy, but money needs to be spent and made in order for things to happen. And we want these developers to get paid more, obviously. So, I mean, that's how they're going to get paid more. We're going to have to pay more for them to get paid more. So if it's $10 more, it's $10 more. If you can fucking buy a game, I mean, if you look at all Xbox games, $60, right? But then if you look at all the fucking DLC that you have in these games, you're looking at more than $120. Looking at Destiny, you're looking at free to play games. You know, you got kids stealing their parents' wallets just to look like Bugs Bunny for a day. So these companies make money. Sony is just the one being straight out with it. Like, look, we're striving to make the best games possible, to give you the best experiences possible. We have succeeded in that for decades, and we want to continue into succeeding into that. In order to do so, nigga, you're gonna have to pay. And I accept it 100%. I mean, that's what I'm there for. That's why I buy games, because I support gaming. And people complaining about $70 is only doing it because Sony is doing it, and it's an argument that they can have to either get clicks if they're a journalist, get clicks if they're a fucking influencer, or get attention because there's a lonely fuckboy on Twitter. That's the only way I can see it.
And just to touch up before we move on to the final portion of the subject, people were spending what, $5 for a fucking what do you call it, a laser sight in Call of Duty, and just the DLC
Exactly. A
in
dot.
general.
It's a dot. Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
but you don't have no problem with the DLC. But all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's we like the games that we had. I recall this. They were so much shorter than the
Mhm.
games that we have now.
Mhm.
Even if you take away the fluff that they add, it was added in the games. These are some full ass fledged games, whether you like open world or whatever the case is or not. You know what I'm saying? It is
Right.
what it is. You know, and going on to the last portion is just politics within games. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be like, oh, somebody got raped, somebody did this, oh, you should ban them for this or that. You know what I'm saying? Just that kind of bullshit, outrage shit. Which is it's annoying. You know, I mean, crunch, like you just mentioned before, people were upset about crunch. What the fuck does that got to do about me buying this fucking game? You can't talk about crunch. You can't talk about Activision doing whatever the fuck that they're doing. These are grown ass fucking people. A. B. If you really don't like that shit, be really about it. And when I say be really about it, go beyond games. Get rid of your iPhone, because that's made by a whole bunch of Chinese slaves too. Get rid of all the shit that's in your house. The soap, get rid of that too. Don't be half with it. Go all the way. And that being said, for the outrage, before we move on to our next topic in terms of political, what I just said, Jemiah, what you gotta say about that, man? People that you looking at politics. Oh, I don't want to do this or that. You know, oh, they somebody got touched in this studio or crunch.
Man, like I said before, bro, like I feel like the adults in the situations, they should have been nipping that shit in the fucking bun when that shit first started. You know what I mean? Like the first time the dude's old boy said something crazy or even suggested something crazy, you should have been on his neck. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that shit would have stopped a lot of shit. And like my thing is like everybody's acting like this shit was going on and everybody knew about it, but nobody did shit. Like that's what bothers me the most is like everybody like yeah like it was a well known thing throughout the company and whatever, and the Cosby Suite and all the other shit. And it's like, why didn't anybody say anything? You know what I mean?
You know, the main White Knight Crusader, which is what is it? What's the name? Jason Schreier. That nigga already knew about it, but he waited to the perfect time to write a story about it. And everybody want to sit there and say that he's so good for the industry. Yeah, this nigga leak shit. He is. But don't make him benevolent when he's thinking about his pockets, which is cool. You know what I mean? You know the game. He ran the game. I get it. You know. Speaking of this nigga, we're gonna talk about leaks, and we got some subcategories regarding the leaks. So, as typical fashion of the No Filter podcast, I'll give you some context to it, and then we can discuss. So, how do you feel about leaks? Is my question here. Lionel, what's going on, bro? You have to hear when this video is done, the beginning of the shit. I'm keeping it shorter because Thrash is in here and he's dealing with his COVID. But we have 3 different types of leaks. Just the Horizon delay, The Last of Us, remember when that leaked, and then Halo apparently leaked, which Lionel can definitely speak about. We have the whole story of that bullshit. So let's get started with the Horizon delay. Like, I kind of don't like when things are leaked. You know what I'm saying? We're in a world of, the digital age. You feel me? So, no, he's good. He's as good as he gets. Nelson, what's going on, bro? So he's as good as it gets here. But Thrash, how do you feel about leaks? That's number 1.
Well, leaks.
Yeah, just leaks of any type, video game wise.
I mean, I can understand how people get excited about a leak because you feel like it's something you're not supposed to see.
Mm-hmm.
But what they don't realize is a lot of these companies do these leaks purposely. But as far as just leaks, period, I mean, I never really truly liked them 100% because it would ruin everything that you're waiting. I remember waiting for E3 when E3 was still particularly good.
That shit would ruin it.
Next thing you know, these leaks start coming out to where we saw the whole show before the whole show came. So when they came with this spectacular showing, we were like ho hum about it because we knew, and it's like it just ruined E3. So I would turn off any. I wouldn't watch anything really until E3, just try to get some shit. But then they would start reaching to Twitters and everywhere you go, you'll see that leak. Niggas will hit you up. Just different things. Couldn't go nowhere. M4G, anywhere. They just
put the leak right out there. The title was the fucking leak. I'm like, bro, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's
I don't care about The Last of Us. I'm gonna leak the shit out of that. If you haven't played it, fuck you. So
yeah, you had niggas leaking that shit in their fucking thumbnail, bro. That's what pissed me off.
And then on the title, you go to Emperor G in the title. New leak suggests that Joe died by a golf club. Like, damn, bitch, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I'm like, Jesus Christ,
I missed
man.
all that.
I'm like, yo, they going outrageous with it. You know what I'm saying? So so let me ask you this: the Horizon Forbidden West leak. What do you think is going on with that one? Because apparently this Jason Schreier already knew. Like, we already kind of was prefaced and let us know that it's a possibility of it being leaked. But this guy seems to know a lot of shit going on. And like, what's happening with that?
Hey, what leak? Horizon Zero Dawn got leaked?
Horizon
They
Forbidden
said
West.
that Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be delayed till
early
Q1 2022. That's what Jason Schreier said.
Jason,
that's probably not even a leak. That's probably more of an educated guess.
No, he said no. He was
that as well.
No, he was for sure with it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
but we already kind of knew it could be delayed though. So it's not anything special. But why does he know the information?
Probably a couple of people mentioned it to him, or just the timeline of everything. If it's going to come out to be on sale in the holiday season, then we're in August. September starts holiday season. We don't have a date yet It's already August. So one would think that it's going to be delayed until 2022
and
because you're losing your market. You're losing your marketing time. You know what I'm saying? You're losing it. So it's like they don't show something this month. I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's not shown by the end of this month, it's gonna be delayed for sure. You know what I'm
they're
saying?
gonna come
There's
out.
no reason.
They're gonna come out and say it. I'm pretty sure of it. And they, to be honest with you, I mean, I was hopeful that they were gonna come out this year. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I don't think it's gonna be delayed because I think if it was gonna be delayed, Sony would have came out and confirmed it. Because the last time this shit happened, they came out mad quick with The Last of Us 2. It was like, you're right, this shit's delayed.
Because there was a lot of shit that was going on with that game. But in this particular situation, Jason Schreier continuously says, no, it really is. You believe what you like. He is for certain that it will be.
That's what I'm saying though. But like, if he was for certain for sure, Sony would have just came out and said some shit. You know what I mean?
I feel like they're waiting for the right time. It's possible that they're waiting for this crazy conference that they have going on.
What right time?
The crazy conference that they have going on pretty soon.
Who keeps? But I don't. Who keeps saying that Sony's gonna have a conference?
That was even leaked. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that too. I think
By who?
A lot of people, man. I don't know, man. There's a lot of people.
I just like concrete evidence.
I
mean,
like it too, but you know, shit be getting leaked and then it comes out, it come to fruition. You know, but
97% of leaks, man, never really come to fruition. I've noticed that shit, man. If you really listen to a lot of what these niggas said 6 months ago, it's like all of that shit didn't come true.
True. Well, yeah, it's been altered slightly. It'd be interesting to destroy his credibility if Sony was just like, yeah, it's gonna come out November. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I just want Sony to come out just so they can destroy this nigga. Like I'd be like, yo, go get a couple extra studios in here. We getting this shit out by November. We about to end this nigga right now. You know what I mean? End his whole goddamn career forever, bro.
If it come out in November, it would be doing big things for Christmas. For sure.
And maybe, well, I'm gonna be doing a podcast later. I'll talk about that. I don't want to fuck up the other one, but it could be all of this is strategic. You mentioned The Last of Us and how you were pissed off about the thumbnail in there, and how do you feel about that? I mean, you mentioned how you feel about leaks in general, like it kind of spoils shit. But what about the people that just be flagrantly leaking shit like that, spread like wildfire?
Like I said, those are the motherfuckers who ain't got a life really, who ain't got friends really, who don't have that in that level of attention that all humans want. You know, at the end of the day, we all want some form of attention from somebody. We don't want to feel like we're just standing on the planet all by ourselves when everybody else is running around us, not noticing. You know what I'm saying? So some people just don't know how to just say hi, so they just lie. You can get the attention from anybody. Just say hi to a motherfucker, you know. But
yeah, I was just thinking, like, imagine if your superpower was nobody can notice you. Yeah, that would be kind of fire though.
Me personally, like I said before,
you know what I mean? Just be like,
of course your antisocial ass will say some wild ass shit like
TV, that. Nobody notice you. You can do whatever you want. Skip lines, go to the movies, nigga. Like just.
But it become a novelty after a while. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, I'm getting tired of this shit. Humans are made to communicate with people, but I think you're onto something when it comes to like, I mean, me personally, it was good for my YouTube channel. As small as it is, it was good for it in terms of the leak or whatever the case is. It created enough noise, and just enough shit to talk about in general, and just to see how people would feel. Like I feel like the maneuver that they've done for that game, just to do some shock value bullshit, to me, I feel like that was a no go. Like, you don't disrespect your clientele, and call that shit like you just supposed to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but the majority of the fans enjoyed the game though, so like we
don't have any statistics about that, about who enjoyed
what. Do you mean?
What.
The game is like one of the most. It was one of the most completed games of PS4 all time, nigga. What are you talking about? That shows you people were engaged.
Wait, stop. So the most completed game, you can put that game on the easy mode and just blow through that shit.
But still,
So we
but
don't
people
know. So
still. That
we don't
means,
know if they're doing that in terms of
but
the
it
most.
also, but Josh, though, it means that people enjoyed the story and they wanted to see it all the way through. No matter what mode they played it on, they wanted to see the end of the fucking
That don't
story.
mean that you enjoyed it.
So why would you finish the game if you're enjoying it?
I didn't. I didn't enjoy that game. I finished it because I purchased it and couldn't return it. So we might as well make the best out of it.
Mm.
I took that. I took
So
that.
let's
I took that hit and then enjoy it, but I was already
one
there. That don't
percent of
mean
the
that you
niggas
like
who
it.
1% of the niggas who beat it like you was salty.
At the end of the day, whether you liked it or not, right? It doesn't matter. No matter if you hated the story, liked it or not, didn't like it or not, the game did what it's supposed to do, right? It got beat. People beat it. Some people hated it. Some people loved it. Some people are still on the fence about it. What Naughty Dog did was make you want to complete something that you don't even like. You know what I'm saying? They kind of put in the work to where the story was intriguing enough and anger inducing enough and controversial enough to where HBO even signed on these niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's sure it's okay not to like the game. It's okay to love it. End of the day, they had a plan and they followed through with that plan. And they succeeded. And they can do it again, and they can do it again, and they'll do it again, and then they'll do it again.
You know, I was thinking about the HBO joint. I think that the HBO joint might keep Tess alive
No, I
because
think
they're talking about 8 seasons, and you got that chick from Fringe, Anna Torva, whatever her name is,
Mhm.
that blonde chick from Fringe, the lead actress. Like,
Yeah.
why would they get her to play a role that's gonna be like a season or like half a season? Because that bitch dies
But
pretty early if they're gonna go by
because
the game.
it's more than what you think. I believe that it's gonna go okay when his baby get killed, right? But it's gonna keep going from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a story within that. So it's gonna be a story when he met Tess and all the things he went through with Tess that we didn't see in the game. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I found that.
They could do building.
Tess might have a long.
They could build.
She might have a long stature with that shit because it's a lot happening. It was a lot going on. I mean, it's a lot of shit going on. And what drove Joel? Did she make Joel the way he is? Something had to make Joel into this feelingless killer. You know what I'm saying?
And then on top of it, there's a lot of things. They can elaborate more on certain things. You know what I mean? Because they don't have to keep
Yeah.
it within like a 20-hour, like a 15, 20-hour game. Number two,
Right. And they got 8 seasons. If they got 8 fucking seasons, bro, think on that. I mean, how much time you can actually like really put the story in together.
They
You know
say
what I'm saying?
they say they
I
could
got
go eight
money that
seasons. Yeah.
Sony. I got money that Sony is paying Neil extra money just so he don't just so Mike HBO won't buy him off. I got money on that. That HBO might be trying to buy cuz off.
Nah, I
Trying to
mean,
make
if he was
you know
smart though,
how much money
Sony makes way better movies than fucking HBO though. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna sign with anybody, you would go make a Sony film.
You know how much money HBO can offer that nigga as an individual? Nigga, I'm telling you now, like HBO can do that shit. And look how much money HBO's putting into this movie. I mean, into this show. I mean, they're not getting some regular ass niggas and some new ass people and all that. I mean, they're getting people who act, who could portray some shit.
The one thing I hope is they use actual physical prostheses and shit for the fucking clickers and shit. Like, don't go out here with some heavy CGI bullshit, bro. Like, go all in, get the fucking physical shit. You know what I mean? Because like, you could make a cool mushroom type of prosthesis and put it on somebody's face. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do all this stupid ass CGI shit, bro.
No, super facts.
Like that. You saw those fan films, right? Of The Last of Us 2? Like some of those fan films, bro, have some great fucking like practical effects when it comes to like clickers and shit. Just like some homemade shit, bro. I'm like, so like that's what I hate when movies do too much CGI. It's like, bro, you can do some fucking regular shit, but like in the '80s, nigga. That's why shit looks so good and it's so iconic and it holds up today because it's not fucking CGI, bro. Like
Right. I just finished watching Total Recall. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts,
I
nigga.
know exactly what you mean, bro. Trust me on that.
So the other thing I
And
wanted,
fucking. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was going to say here because it wasn't about what the context was, just leaks in general, which I want to talk about the final thing, right? In
Mm-hmm.
terms of leaks, is Halo got leaked, all of it.
Did it?
Yeah,
The story. I heard it's like 4 hours or some shit like that.
Four
4 or 5 hours.
hours?
4 or 5 hours.
That's an
more
insult.
more importantly, I heard that Master Chief was sacrificed.
Why you
Yeah, I
leaking
figured
shit?
that.
I don't give a fuck.
Didn't even give niggas a warning or nothing in the
Nothing. No,
chat.
you know what leak was. You know what the leak was. You know what it is. I don't give a fuck. I didn't read it,
I
but
don't
if
think
that's the case, that's what
I
I
heard that
saw.
he just went to a portal or some shit. Right.
And that's what I'm saying too. So that may not be it. Now that's what they said. It's up to you to
Mm.
figure that shit out. But that's what that was going on. And let's say he did die though. How do you feel about that, Thrash?
I told y'all how I feel about it is, y'all. I've been told y'all, nigga.
Not the leak, but if he did die.
If he died, it would be what Microsoft has to do in order to make the single player. I'm sorry. If you know, in order to make a free to play game great, there can be no feeling behind your characters. So that's why I said like Call of Duty. Who's the main character in Call of Duty? Especially when you're playing Warzone. Who's the main character? Fortnite. Who's the main character? Like you don't really have that connection. Whereas, hey, Master Chief been making connections for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make it to where it's a careless situation, and therefore you'll be more willing to spend money on it and all this. You don't have no expectations. So no, you are the hero, not Halo, or not Master Chief. So they need to kill him off or do something close to it
So it can allow for.
in order to make the game more valuable and more able to be profitable.
Now what do you have to say about that, Jeremiah?
See, well, being a game elder, you know what I mean? Like, I remember when Raiden first came in the Metal Gear and niggas was fucking losing their fucking minds over that shit, you know what I
Give me one
mean?
second.
Like,
Mhm.
niggas only wanted Snake, niggas didn't like they didn't like Raiden and shit. He was running around butt naked and shit doing cartwheels. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But over time, niggas started to like that nigga. So my whole thing is like, if you're gonna kill off the main character of a franchise, which I agree on, because I think games and lore themselves need to evolve within the game. That makes sense, right? So like, Joel got killed, niggas lost their minds, but it was Ellie's time to take it over, right? And The Last of Us 3, I think it will be Abby's time to take it over. Or, you know what I'm saying? And like games like God of War 2 and shit, why can't Atreus become, the next god? Because, you know what I mean? It makes sense. The progression makes sense and it feels natural. And I think all games should strive in their lore to make shit change. And with that said, Microsoft in Guardians, right? They tried to set up like some people to take over Chief's spot, right? But they did it wrong, right? The storytelling was shitty. They didn't really explain where these niggas even came from. You know what I mean? Like, I was with Chief in part one, nigga, shooting elites in the face, nigga, with a handgun. You know what I mean? Holding shit down on the fucking, what's this called, the pillar of light. I mean the pillar of autumn. You know what I mean? I was holding shit down, bro, since day one. Me and Cortana, and these new niggas come out of nowhere. You try to replace Chief and Cortana. Like, the way they did it was sloppy, I think. But like Thrash said though, like, were you gonna make this game into a multiplayer, like, real game, and like everybody's running around with fucking Mountain Dew fucking skins and shit? Like, you don't need a fucking Chief, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
real
And
shit.
then I mean they didn't really flesh out his shit too. Anyway, to be honest with you, they had a lot of opportunities to make it rich and
Well, they
just
have a lot of movies and books and shit. That's what the Microsoft really tried to pivot and make this the first like real big video game franchise, but they could never get it off the ground. You know what I mean? They've been trying to make a Halo movie for like the last fucking 10 years, bro. For real, like they have a bunch of Netflix movies and shit, like little cartoon type joints like that, which have good stories. The Halo has a good deep lore, bro, but like the way 343 has been handling this shit, it is fucking sloppy, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, man. That shit is extra sloppy. I don't think they're fit for it, but that's a whole other argument. Um, I guess we kind of exhausted that. The last little thing I wanted to kind of mention, and this is, and once again, thank you guys so much for joining the No Filter Podcast gaming news. And Thrash doesn't know this, but I normally um, like to do like an off-topic thing, which I call illicit therapy, right? So if you guys ain't into it, this concludes the gaming sector. This will begin the off-topic. Just giving you a heads up here. So the off-topic session or section rather would be one night stands. Now, this is designed to have you get to know the panel just so you can understand who's who. I like that personal touch to my thing, so that's why I have it here, too. So,
Okay.
I already told you guys I went to that beach, and I did hook up with somebody. I'm going to use cute words like hook up. But it was an awful experience. It's an awful, awful experience. And usually when it comes to hookups, I've never liked them. You gotta kind of know what the chick wants or what she doesn't want. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, when you have to ask all this shit, it kind of makes it a little bit. Unless they, you know what I mean? Unless you just don't give a fuck. I mean, I think it was pretty standard. But she was on some bullshit talking about some. I mean, I just don't want to be fucked. Well, what do you want? I don't want to tell you though. Well, a closed mouth don't get fucking fed. Then I don't know what the fuck you want, bitch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So my whole thing here is, what's your guys' take on one night stands? And what was like a quick story of your most terrible one night stands when you were in your heyday? Thrash, what's going on with that?
I never did a one night stand.
Ooh,
I'm the
that's
type. I've
interesting.
always been the type of nigga. Don't know why. Don't know why. Can't explain why. But sex is real sacred. Like when I fuck a bitch, I put in work, and I mean it. You know what I'm saying? But like, it was always a turnoff for me for a chick to be trying to fuck the first time she met me. I'm like, bitch, I don't even know what your fucking. I don't even know if your fucking hair is real right now. Like, I don't know. I'm more into the mental. I'm more turned on by women who work, by women who can have a whole conversation without a drink, or have a conversation with a drink, but can hold their drink, ain't all sloppy and dumb. You know, yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so that didn't work.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I gotta mute my other thing. No, keep on, please.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, nigga, interrupting my story, nigga.
Yeah.
Nigga, I have plenty of
You can
chances
hear me now?
to have one night stands. It's just that shit just turns me off, dog. Like I don't
Give
want
me
it.
like 5
Like
minutes.
straight
Right?
up, I mean that's partly why my
Give
wife loved me to death,
me like 5 minutes.
because I'm not like I'm a faithful nigga by default. Like if I'm with somebody, bitches try to holler, I'd be like, nah. Like I'm just too lazy.
I mean,
Back in the day, trust me, I would have like multiple bitches, right? Never one night stand them, but I'll be having multiple bitches. But any nigga that had multiple bitches know that shit is tiring as fuck. 2 Christmases, 2 Valentine's Day, 2 birthdays. Oh shit, they got kids. That's variables. Nigga, like then you got your birthday, so now you got to split your life in 2. Um, it's just too much of a fucking hassle. It's too much money. Um, and I just ain't got time for it. So I can't really do the whole player shit either no more. But the one night stands I never did because mentally it just never turned me on.
and
I can
it's
get pussy anyway.
and it's true. It's like there's a feminine aspect to it. You know what I mean? You don't want a girl to be masculine and aggressive with it. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe some of these new niggas, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
usually like a red flag when a girl is like that. And it wasn't the first night. It took it took like a day before I was having conversation. But the whole point is with her, is that she didn't know what the fuck she. If she knew what she wanted, she didn't know. Now, one night stands is just for fucking. So if she wanted some sensual kissing, neck kissing, and shit, you don't get that as a non-girlfriend. You don't get that.
You should. Yeah, because like, what have you established other than I just want to fuck you? You know,
That now, not only that, but you could have fucking herpes, mouth
yeah,
herpes.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
fuck that shit.
exactly.
Absolutely not. I'm not doing that.
Nigga, I'm gonna say things like this. When I was at the army, nigga, I was going Super Saiyan, nigga. Like, man, like, bruh. I mean, the amount, bro. This when you in the military, if you can't get laid, just hang it up, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
It ain't for you.
the amount of you kind of like a small rock star because like in that small town, you know what I mean? Like, always rotating. There's always new people. You know what I mean? Like, always like. You know, you got the military, you got their families, their extended families, you know what I mean? You got townies, you got just people in and out of there. So, like, bro, you go to the club, man, like, it's on and popping, you know what I mean? Like,
So
bro,
let me
I
t-
had so
so
many.
let me-
I never had a bad one night stand, I would say. Like,
So what was a mediocre one night stand before we close out from you?
I don't even know, bro. Like, cause cause I heard you think talking about shit, but I had great fucking times to just like having one night stands, bro. Like, this amazing shit. Like,
All right, cool.
you know what I'm saying? Cause
so
like,
since you don't have any bad experiences, what was the best experience?
yo, this one chick, right? I fucking, cause I also, I regret dissing her, cause like, I saw her get in the club, and I left with some other chick, so like, then she get all pissy. But like, we were going crazy, right? In the kitchen, all over her fucking room. We broke her fucking bed, bro. Oh man, just smashed to the ground. We still banging, bro. I called the cop, got up, fucking got my shoes and dipped, nigga. That shit was so good, so amazing. And then I fucking I kind of like brushed her off and shit. I was drunk one day in the club and I saw her and she was like, she wasn't having it. I was like, damn, I fucked that up. But that yeah, I had some amazing times, bro, in the army, bro. Like just everything was so finite, bro. Because like I joined when I was 17, right? And then I went to Iraq, and that January I turned 18 in November. That January I went to Iraq. I came back, and after that, nigga, I was like, how? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not wasting no time, bro. I was all over the place. Then I went to Iraq again, like a year later after that shit. And it's like, yo, so like in the army, like everything's so finite. Like one night stands is just so natural. You know what I mean? Like everybody's having sex all the time. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a frat boy college shit turned up to 1,000. You know what I mean?
I don't think
And everybody's always drunk too, or on some kind of drugs.
I don't think that's probably why you didn't care. But I don't think personally that is that achievable now unless you're in like a completely curated place, you know. But you know, at this.
Oh yeah, bro, the shit I was doing back then. I
know that's what I'm saying.
I'll be on some fucking Weinstein shit, nigga.
You had some Me Too movement shit nowadays. You gotta be careful.
Yo, like real talk. When I've been a dance floor, right, with chicks, right? I would literally try to see if I can fucking like try to like almost basically finger them in the club. Like if they don't do anything, they let you. You know what I'm saying? You know it's popping. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I mean. You know, now a bitch would feel some.
You cannot do that shit.
That's my whole.
You not even try that.
Mean. Like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times girls be with a lot of shit, and they be wanting that aggression and taking control. But you just know, I don't got time for that.
Then this one girl, we might as well been having sex on the dance floor, but it was so. I was a young wild one, Thrash. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, because I was in the infantry too. So
the thing about him is that he's seen some shit, done some shit. So like you got a different outlook on some shit.
Even when you're in the infantry though, it's like you're in a different part of the army because the D treat is like fucking like we're some kind of fucking savages. But like, when you're in the infantry, it's like being like in a varsity. You know what I mean? Like it's just like you can get away with so much shit. I remember this one cook sergeant tried to say some shit to us. We're like, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Like, we don't listen to cooks, nigga. You know, even though we're supposed to. Like, we didn't even get in trouble for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you're in a whole different playing field when you're in the infantry, and then you're in the army, you young and shit. Everybody's fucking working out all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just 10, 20 deep in the club, nigga. Like, it's, oh, man. Like we used to
Ain't
get
no,
in so many fights too, nigga. Like just brawling in the parking lots, nigga.
ain't no clubs no more, man. Not at these ages. But
Ah,
I mean, I guess you could. But by the
I
way, this
thought Thrash would be a young playboy nigga though. You know what I mean?
no,
Nah,
that
man, I
nigga
wasn't doing
likes
no one night.
that nigga like quality. That nigga like quality. He a PlayStation nigga, so you already know.
I'm a PC nigga, man. I take everything, nigga. Yo, you better go lay down and have some
I
honey tea,
know, man.
nigga.
Yo, on some real shit,
Fuck.
yo, I really do appreciate you. Shout out to Thrash for really helping the nigga out right now. Like, really shout out to him. But we're going to try to keep it short now. We're going to end this No Filter podcast. Thank you so much. I'll do my little retweets and shit like that out so people can hear this. Even with the whole COVID talk, people need to hear the beginning of this shit too. So either way, thank you guys for the support, yo. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Jemiah, for jumping in there. I really appreciate that. And we are out. Peace out, guys.